not the way you paint the picture of me. I'm sorry you chose to stay. Big mistake, I played the game. Should've never given it away. No, I didn't mean to. You get hurt at all. I appreciate the time with you. My heart when is when I'm with you. I don't think we're compatible. It's just not impossible. No, we all kinda selfish, baby. Please don't judge me. Please don't. I think I need to. I just need to go ahead and leave. Be lonely. Leave you while you're lonely. Leave you while you're lonely. Please don't fall in love with me. You're lonely. You don't even know me. I leave you lonely. Found out who I am through you, and it turns out I ain't for you. We made them plans and I let them fall through. Didn't mean to cause all this damage. Is it my fault? Why'd you have to fall? I think I need to. I just need to go ahead and leave. Be lonely. Leave you while you're lonely. Leave you while you're lonely. Please don't fall in love with me.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kiana, but on here I go by the Modern Sim. And before we begin, I would first like to thank you guys for 100 subscribers. This channel has grown so fast in the past 2.5 weeks, and I am so thankful for you guys for liking and commenting and engaging with my videos. I really do appreciate each and every one of you, even if you were the second person to subscribe or the 105th person to subscribe. Thank you so very much. With that being said, we are back for another episode of the Unfinished Business Let's Play series. And like I said in the last episode, we will be taking a mini break from Naomi and diving into the personal life of Winnie Myrick. We will be following Winnie along as she goes into the city to handle some business. So without further ado, let's get into this episode. So we are starting this episode off Monday morning. It has been a couple of days since we last saw Naomi and the gang, and like I said, we are following Winnie in today's episode as she goes to San Micheal to meet with a client who she has a romantic history with. So I'm gonna go ahead and have her work out. So Winnie is definitely the type to work out every morning before work. It helps her clear her mind and get her mind focused for the day, and especially for today since she's meeting with someone who she has had a interesting history with. She might not seem it, but she's definitely nervous. But she's gonna keep her composure, but she's definitely nervous. So we will be heading to the city in a few minutes. Let me check her needs. Yes, we'll be heading to the city in a few moments, and actually she will be staying in the city because I imagine that San Micheal is a bit of a drive from Oasis Springs, and it wouldn't make sense for her to be going there and then coming back every single day. And so she's gonna be there for about 3 days or so to at least get started on working with her client. So while she's working out, I'm going to quickly give you a tour of her home. It's not going to be too in-depth considering she's not going to be staying here for majority of this episode. So this is Winnie's home. I actually got this house from the gallery. I found this one and I felt like it was perfect. It has that blend of modern with just a little bit of Mediterranean considering the area that she's located in. So going into her front door, we are met with her kitchen, her living room, and then her dining room is over here in this corner. Very simple. Winnie is very much obsessed with the color pink. She used to be very much a brown, black neutral girl, kind of like Naomi. Initially, when she was starting out in the corporate world, it was a little more difficult for her, so she resorted to a lot more neutral colors, but now she doesn't care. She wears whatever she wants. Of course, it looks professional, but she wears whatever she wants. This is the first floor. I think I'm actually gonna go downstairs because this is where everything else is. We are met with this I don't even say foyer, just like this empty hallway area. Of course, moving forward, you do see Winnie's gym, but first over here to the left is her bedroom. This is her bedroom, very nice, light and airy. This is her little vanity area, and then through here is her bathroom. This is what her bathroom looks like, and this is kind of incorporating that Mediterranean look back into her home. Going back out her bedroom doors, we have another room, and that leads to her office. The lights are off in this one, but this is essentially what it looks like. Going out this way, we are met with her gym, which we kind of got a glimpse of. And like I said, Winnie is very much a gym rat, I guess, and so like she has to have her own dedicated gym. She doesn't like going to the public gyms because of the sharing of equipment and things like that. She prefers to have her own gym. And yes, so on the left is another bathroom. Very simple, it's like a guest bathroom in a way. And going out this way, we have her patio area. Having people over, it's a bar, this seated area, and then she has a pool, and then we can see like the windows to her room. So back in her house and going up these stairs, a third floor, which is more of a like another seating area. So we have these chairs up here, but going out through these doors, we have the seating area where her friends can kind of gather and just chill at night and look out at the stars and things like that. So that is her house. So I'm gonna let her finish up her workout, and then I'm gonna have her take a quick shower, of course use the bathroom, and then she's gonna head out to Semi Shuno. In the place that she is staying is actually a place you guys have seen before if you watch another series on my Let's Play, but the place that she will be staying is owned by her PR firm, or they lease it out. It's leased to them. Oh, sorry, let me get out of her business. Not her crying in the shower, but yes, it's leased to her company, and so she'll be staying there for a while by herself. Just like I said, just 3 days in the city, nothing too serious. So I'm gonna have her finish up here, and I'll see you guys in the city. So we have made it to the city, and this is the lot that she will be staying at. If you've seen The Bachelorette in Semi Shuno Let's Play, you would have seen this house. This is the house that they are currently staying in, and this is the house that her firm rents out periodically for those who have to visit the city to conduct business. So now look at her about to go work out. She is stressed, guys. She's a little hungry, but I'm not gonna have her eat anything until she gets to the office, because they have its own food court area, so she can get something when she gets there. So just a little background on the type of client she's going to meet with. His name is Micheal Abbott. He is currently in the process of planning out his political campaign because he is running for office. Now, Winnie met Micheal during her first internship. She was asked to shadow a PR consultant for Victor Fang's campaign, and that's where she met Micheal. Micheal was his campaign manager. Yeah, I was about to say campaign advisor, campaign manager. And essentially that's where they met. So this is what Micheal Abbott looks like. She snuck into his office, and he pretty much caught her and was like, what are you doing in here? Trying not to be super intimidating, but of course, like, he's your supervisor, your superior, so like she was intimidated slightly by him. He tried to play it cool. It was just like, you don't have to worry, like, I get it. This is a really nice view. Like, if you want to, you know what, now I'm thinking about it, he really was playing games back then. But anyways, if you just ask, I'll occasionally let you sneak in his office to observe the view. It's one of my favorite spots. That's pretty much how their interactions began, just seeing each other around the office and just talking here and there, but nothing crossing any boundaries. Occasionally they would like talk in his office and whatnot, and nothing too much. And then just one day, the mood was kind of there. They had spent so much time around each other. The sun was setting just right in the office, and something changed. After that, everything was pretty much, their affair began. Winnie was very much in the know that he was or is a married man. It wasn't a shock. She knew when she first met him that he was married. Occasionally they would talk in the daytime, but their love affair was kind of restricted to late at night. And later on, we will talk about his relationship with his wife and why this wasn't as big of an issue as it was or as it could have been in the beginning. And we'll get into that. So after she's finished changing, I will see you guys at the office.
I just wanna be around, I just wanna be around you. I wanna help build your crown, I don't wanna take your eyes closed. When everything works out heavenly, looking down was assuredly. First thing when I saw you, look at me, I died. Perfume smelling like goddess, looking like a priestess, smile on fire. Goodness gracious, it's crazy. Finally, how we call it at the same time. Can't even attempt to begin to explain where I am when I look deep in your eyes.
Alright guys, so we have made it to the office. I don't think I'll give an in-depth tour of the office, but this lot is actually a revamped version or like redesigned-ish version of the office lot by JC Sims. And they actually have a video of it on YouTube, and that's actually where I found it. I'm sorry, not they booing her, please. But Winnie has made it to the office. I currently have her doing a little bit of social networking so that she can continue to get her follower count up, because that helps with influence in her career. So, and I think around 12:30 is when, you know, the client, Mr. Micheal Abbott, is supposed to get here, and so they'll have a meeting at her career, her goals for her work from home assignment. I'll possibly try to get this done. I actually have other plans for this episode. I didn't expect that to happen, so she is almost done. In a minute, I'm gonna have her and her boss go into the conference room to wait for Mr. So Winnie is very much nervous. I'm actually gonna have her psych herself up so she can like mentally prepare herself for the fact that she's about to see Micheal after all this time. And as you can see, she's already getting focused. Also, do y'all see this jacket? It's so cute. Actually gonna have her change this in a second. This is literally her first love. Growing up, because she was so academically driven, she didn't really have time to like really date for real and like have boyfriends like all of her other friends did. She was more like, okay, I have these goals that I have to achieve and I'm going to get them done. And so for Winnie, this is a lot. To finally see him after all these years, she has changed so much. She can only assume he has too, and essentially it came down to him having to make the choice between Winnie and his expected future, and he chose his expected future. So it very much left Winnie heartbroken. So many emotions: guilty, ashamed, sad, embarrassed that she was even in this predicament to begin with, but like part of her still misses him and still wishes him well, but it's just so many things. So for Winnie, this is a very special moment for her, and she has to rely on her professionalism to get her through this meeting. Side note, Winnie, the way I envision that Winnie dresses is like super classy but like cute, like a corporate Barbie in a way. Like this combo is so cute. But anyway, so I'm gonna have her and her boss go ahead and head over to the conference room. I think I'm gonna have it in this one since it's a little more light and airy. So I'm gonna have her sit down. So Winnie is sitting here gathering her thoughts, because in a minute she knows that, why is everybody walking over here? In a minute she knows that Micheal will be coming in. So, and there he is. What is she about to do? What is going on? Hold on. Broken-hearted rage from feeling hurt by someone nearby. Winnie's heart aches, and someone she cared about caused her so much pain. Oh, Winnie. And so he immediately walked out because he's not. Cyrus, why are you calling? He immediately walked out because he was not expecting to see Winnie. He knew that this was a very prominent firm, and he had been suggested that this is the office he takes for his PR team. However, he did not expect to see Winnie in here. So as you can see, he's outside gathering himself for just a moment. Like, is that who I really think it is? After a few moments of musical chairs, we have finally gotten everyone to sit down to chat. Winnie has started the conversation off by asking, how are you doing? Do you know why we're here? And essentially she's like, okay, so we were called by your management team to sit down and have a talk with you about your image for your upcoming political campaign. And he's like, yes, yes, yes. So we're going to quickly ask him a couple of questions to kind of gauge how we're going to present his campaign. She's telling him all these things about what exactly the services they provide and whatnot, and the part they play in creating and upholding his image. And he's just nodding along because this isn't something he's new to. So after they talk about, standard procedure, what's going to happen, bored, feeling guilty around someone nearby. It's Michael's fault things turned out like the way they did, or at least it feels that way. I feel like in this moment, Winnie is keeping very much her professional head on, and Michael's head is drifting elsewhere. Okay, like Winnie, I would say she has had time to prepare for this moment. This isn't a shock or a surprise. However, for Michael it is. So he's very much not really interested in the topic of this conversation, but rather more into Winnie. After it being years since you've seen like your old flame, love, that you would be distracted, okay? Winnie is just powering through the meeting, just getting a gauge of her client. So now that they've gone through that, Winnie's like, it's time to get a little more serious, and her boss is like, okay, now it's time to ask some questions before we end this meeting. And essentially these are like the probing questions, like, now that you know what we do and our plan and we've gotten a good gauge of you, we need to talk about. And she's like, just for our awareness and the ability to do our job even better, we need to ask you a couple of questions about your life. And he's like, he's a little apprehensive, but he agrees. And she's like, I don't want to make you uncomfortable, but these are the things we have to talk about. So, and he's just like bracing himself because he, like I said, he already knows the protocol. And so she's like, okay, so is there anything that we need to know that can possibly cause a scandal in your campaign that might interfere with the election? Okay, because I've seen political campaigns like yours get derailed because of small details that get spun into something else. So is there anything you need to tell us? And he's like, well, I have a couple of speeding tickets, but that's it. And she's like, okay. And when he's like, okay, so is there anything about family that could possibly be newsworthy? He's like, thinking if he really wants to say this right here, right now. In thinking, he's like, okay, well, she seems like she's doing her job, so this is his campaign, and he realized that he has to lay everything out on the table, so he's like hesitating a little bit, and then he comes out and tells her, well, we haven't announced it to pretty much anyone, but my wife and I, we are expecting our first child. And Winnie is keeping it cool, but she would be lying to say that like that doesn't affect her. So, but she's keeping her cool, especially in front of her boss. But she's like, pregnant? And so there's like a little bit of tension in the air. Ones who really only notice it are these two. The boss is very oblivious, just trying to make sure she makes a great first impression on her client. After that, Winnie pretty much gauged that that was the end of their conversation, and Winnie pretty much excused herself to get started working on the campaign, and her boss was like, yeah, it's okay, I can finish up everything here. So she's getting ready to type up her notes so she can keep them with her. What is going on? Be complimented by Michael. I'm confused, but I'm pretty sure I don't know what that was, but I'm gonna push past that. She's gonna get this done, and then afterwards she's gonna call Naomi because she very much needs to debrief after all of this. But it seems like Michael is leaving. Yeah, it seems like there he is. He seems like he's leaving. She can't let anyone see her sweat under pressure. Like, that's just not her. That's that's just the nature of how she operates, especially in this field. However, you can tell she's not interested in doing any of the work she's doing. So Winnie has called Naomi and she's like, girl, I just got out of the meeting with him. And she's like, how'd it go? It went okay. It didn't go nearly as bad as I expected, but Naomi's like, well, how'd he look? And she was like, how'd he look? Naomi. She's like, let's be real, girl. You have eyes. She's like, well, he looks good. He actually looks even better than how he did when I first met him, and you know, that other stuff happened. And Naomi's like, how do you feel? Like, do you feel any different? Do you feel angry still, sad, upset, or are you okay? Like, how do you feel? And when he walked in, like, my heart began to flutter. The butterflies, and I had to remind myself to catch a grip. And Naomi's like, well, how did he seem? Did he seem okay? And she's like, well, he seemed okay. He walked out. As soon as he saw me, he walked out of the room. But other than that, everything seemed normal. Essentially, Naomi just tries to give her some encouragement. It's just like, well, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. You're gonna get through these next couple of days, and you're not even gonna have to interact with him anymore. Like, that'll be that. And Winnie's like, yeah, that'll be that. But she's like, well, I can't stay on the phone too long. I do have to finish up some work, and then I'm gonna head out of the office and whatnot. And so now she about to turn the TV on. Girl, you're funny. Okay, so I'm actually going to have her. Naomi. This is so cute though, because even though we literally were just on the phone with her, she's like, girl, she texted her like, girl, if you need to come home, abort the mission, you can come straight here. And Winnie's like, Naomi, I can't. I have to stay professional. And so she cancels. Winnie has used the bathroom, and she realizes she got a text from someone, and it is actually Micheal texting her and asking, can they talk? Can they meet up to talk? And so Winnie has a decision to make. She has to decide, does she want to go talk to Micheal right now, or does she just want to go home? And curiosity gets the better of her. Pretty much has made up her decision that she is going to meet him. So Winnie is trying to keep it under wraps, but she's going to head out to meet Micheal. Address, and he has went ahead and sent the address of which he wanted to meet her at. So I'm gonna go ahead and have her travel to the address, and I will see you guys there.
Found myself obsessed with making you love me. Got so obsessed I forgot to love myself. So distracted I forgot I love myself. Can't I reject it? The love I gave to you was for myself. For myself. For myself.
Alright guys, so we have made it to the meeting spot. Micheal has invited Winnie to a rooftop restaurant in the Arts District for a little drink. So Winnie is currently ordering the drinks. Of course she's gonna get a wine because she's a classy lady, you know? And honestly, these buffs, like earlier, they both had very uncomfortable buffs about seeing each other. She had the heartbroken one, and then he had, I believe, the embarrassed or guilty buff. I can't remember, but now they're flirty from hot dinner date. So of course the feelings are still very much there, and I feel like in this situation he would actually break the ice. Oh, he ordering. Okay, he said I got it. Okay, Micheal. So of course he has invited her here to talk. They haven't seen any flirt. See, I will let him do what he do, but they haven't seen each other in a very long time, and so he just kind of wants to catch up in a way and kind of like clear the air, since he knows that, like, of course they're going to be working together. I feel like he would start the conversation by like complimenting her hair, because I feel like he's definitely noticed that, like, yeah, your hair's different, like. He's like, yeah, I haven't seen you in a while. Like, your hair is so different. I like it. And she's like, yeah, I had to switch things up. Or he has a sad buff, doesn't he? Feeling guilty. The complex emotions here, guys. The complexity. It's like, yeah, I haven't seen you in years, and your hair is so different. She's like, yeah, I've really damaged my hair, constantly having to straighten it before work and things like that. But I like my hair like this, the way it is anyway. Your hair is so beautiful and shiny. It's stunning. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. Like, that's so cute. Worry about getting found out. You know what? Okay, so he's talking to her. He's like, I honestly didn't expect this. Like, it was a shock to see you sitting there when I walked into the office. And when he's basically like, yeah, I figured that the way you ran out of there so fast before I even got a chance to say hello. And he was like, yeah, I just was thrown off guard. Sorry about that. So, and he's like, I don't want our history to affect our personal relationship that we have, especially going forward with this campaign. And she's like, yeah, look at you running for office. Like, this is what you used to talk about all the time. And he's like, yeah, I finally am in the right place to do that. This is, been a dream of mine for a while. And she's like, yeah, I remember. Oh, thanks for our food. I didn't really get them much. I just got them like garlic bread and alcohol. As much as it's nice to keep it cute and keep the conversation light, like she's unable to ignore the elephant in the room. So she's going to talk about his family. She's going to be like, speaking of that, congrats on, the pregnancy. No, sir. He said, I got to keep my distance. I ain't trying to get caught. Go grab the food and get up. Of course, Winnie's going to have to she's going to bring her the baby. She's going to be like, congratulations. And he's like, congratulations for what? She's like, on the baby, I know you always wanted to be a dad, and I think you would make a great dad. And he's like, yeah, why don't you sound so happy? Why do you sound like that? Like, even though it's been years, Winnie still knows this man. Like, she's not stupid by any means, and she's very perceptive in general. So he's like, it's just me and Kennedy are not on the same page about everything regarding that. And she's like, oh, okay. But she doesn't want to pry too much, because even though she knows him and things like that, she knows she's not entitled to know everything or probe too far into his life. So she's kind of going to leave it at that or whatnot. Heartache from feeling hurt by someone nearby. Nothing hurts quite like a heartache. Oh, Winnie. Drunk. Girl, you're drunk. Bad combination. Hearing him talk about, his wife, Kennedy, and, the baby. Of course, she is going to present herself as happy, but deep down inside, not even deep down inside, just inside, she's not happy about that. Since Winnie is slightly inebriated, not even slightly, she's drunk, she's inebriated, but I feel like she would say something a little reckless. So I feel like she'll say something I think she'll say something about his smile, because he's very much in a very good mood. And so I feel like she'll say something about his smile and be like, I forgot how beautiful, how wonderful it is to see you smile. And he's like, oh. And so he's like, okay. He's trying to gauge how far or what is the appropriate thing to say in this context. And not to say he's not feeling it, because they obviously earlier they were very flirty being around each other, but of course in the back of their mind, the past is not fully settled. So I feel like he actually would take this moment to, okay, she said, your smile is contagious. Oh, my smile, really? You are the sweetest. I feel like he will also take this time to, he about to compliment her intelligence, that's adorable, to apologize and be like, I actually just want to go ahead and just apologize for all the stuff I put you through and things like that. Like, I really didn't mean for anyone to get hurt in the situation. And I really do care about you, Winnie. And she's like, and her heart's like fluttering just a little bit. Seems like after he apologized and complimenting her, she's feeling very confident, and things are kind of flowing as if no time has passed. The awkwardness is gone, and they're kind of just free to kind of be they're free to just kind of be themselves. Oh. Winnie. It's pretty much like time has basically stood still, and I feel like she actually would say something like that, like, you make time stop and fly at the same time. And they're just having a really good time. I didn't really get into Michael's relationship with his wife, but essentially the reason why he was able to pursue some type of relationship with Winnie all those years ago is the fact that he was in like his marriage is more of a life partnership than like a marriage. They both come from very respectable families who of course know of each other, and not know of each other, know each other really well. And it was kind of like encouraged that the two, Kennedy and Michael, would get together. They like each other, they're attracted to each other, like they're pretty good friends, in a sense, but like there's no like true, like I wouldn't say like there's like he loves her and she loves him, but I wouldn't say like they're in love with each other. So when he met Winnie, it was something totally different. Like he definitely was very much in love with Winnie, and they just get each other. And I know it's weird considering like she's pregnant and stuff like that. Like these are the things that are expected of Michael to do by his family. Like, okay, it's time to start having kids. You're a family man, you know, if you're running for office, this looks good too. So like there's these expectations that they are there's these expectations that they have placed upon them as a couple, that they, you know, have just pretty much going through the motions of. Earlier in the conversation, when he asked about his wife, and she's like, you know, yeah, how's she doing? Where is she? And she's like, you know, she's okay. She's hanging with her girls tonight and things like that. And so he's basically texting her to like kind of check in on her and things like that. But they don't really keep tabs on each other because they very much live a life together, but very much have separate lives. Oh, you're adorable. Okay. And so they very much leave separate. Here we go again. She's chilling. But Michael very much is on some other time. But their dynamic is very weird. And so that's why the ability for him to have the affair with Winnie, and even for his wife Kendall to have her own affairs, is very possible, very, very kind of normalized. But like things were just getting too messy. And essentially Michael had to reel it back in when it came to Winnie, because it wasn't just like, oh, you know, I like this girl, we're seeing each other and whatnot. It was deeper than that, and Kennedy knew that. Kennedy pretty much picked up on that and was just like, yeah, I hate to make you choose, but you know, for the sake of what we have, you got to make a decision. So it is currently 3:06 a.m. As you can see, they've just been talking and having a really nice conversation for hours. They got here 10, and it's 3. They've been sitting here for so long, so I'm actually gonna have him like order one more thing. And Michael, he gives me cheesecake vibes. I can't explain that, and I feel like Winnie is very much tiramisu. I can't explain that. I really can't, but that's what it's giving. So they're gonna order some dessert. It's gotten to that point where they're very, very, very comfortable. As you can see, they have been flirting so much, and I feel like Michael would definitely, since he's already feeling some type of way, I feel like he definitely would give in to, I don't want to say intrusive thoughts, but I feel like he would confess his attraction and be like, you look really good. Pink has always been your color. Of course, we all know what Michael is thinking, so I feel like he would actually invite her to stay the night with him and be like, hey, you know, even though we just ordered dessert, you know, we can skip dessert and we can maybe get out of here, you know, go somewhere else. And Winnie she's not dumb. She is enjoying herself, of course, but she knows when enough is enough. She knows when to stop. And so I don't think she actually would go with him. So she's actually going to be like, you know, I don't think that's the best. Girl, ignore that. Ignore that. I think she would be like, you know, I don't think that actually is the best thing for us to do, considering we are trying to maintain that professional relationship. And he's like, you know what? Yeah. Actually getting pretty late. It's almost 5 a.m. Luckily, what is he about to say to her? Lie about career? Babe, it's not a good look. He very much respects Winnie. He's like, okay, well, you know, it's getting late. I think we should just go ahead and head home. And Winnie's like, yeah, it's a good idea. He's going to give her one last compliment and be like, you know, I really had a good time being with you. I forgot what this feels like, this thing that we have. I just can't imagine going without this again. Like sunshine on a rainy day. Oh, stop, you're making me blush. No, because for real. And he's looking at her, and Micheal is very bold. He's very bold. And I think he would actually try to go in for a kiss. Now, I don't know what's going to happen. Oh. Oh, Winnie. Sorry, I'm trying not to laugh. I'm really trying not to laugh. I didn't notice this, but someone who actually works with Winnie, who's a part of her team, he was actually at the office literally earlier that day. He saw them, so I'm kind of curious to see. I kind of want to know if he's going to say something, but Winnie is very much surprised in a good and bad way about that, and I think she's just going to, you know, child, he is on something else, babe. Broken-hearted rage, so she's feeling all these complex emotions about being with him, and that kiss was great and whatnot, but she still at the end of the day feels rage when she looks at him. So I think she's just going to go ahead and, of course they were already going to leave, but like she's going to caress his cheek and just be like, you know, this was nice, but I gotta go. Not they about to have a full conversation, babe, we gotta go. That is essentially the end of this encounter. I know Winnie is already having her doubts. She might be confident right now, but this is definitely going to hit her later. So she's trying to give him the hint, like, you know, I'm really tired, but I'll see you later. And he's like, I'll see you later too. And so Winnie is very much going to go home and crash. She is very tired. So I will see you guys back at home. So Winnie has made it back home, or to the place that she's staying in the city for a couple of days, and before she went to bed she was very much in a confident and flirty mood, but when she wakes up in the morning she's definitely going to feel some sort of guilt, maybe even ashamed of the way she presents herself, how she acted. You know, she promised herself she was going to keep this strictly professional, but she ended up having that kiss with Micheal. So all of these things are definitely playing in her mind, even as she's sleeping. I'm actually going to let her sleep for a little bit longer. Later on, she's going to try to get some work done, maybe even go for a workout or walk or run or whatever. And then we're going to end this episode. It's a couple hours later, and she's still feeling a little flirty, but she also is very hungover. And this is when the realization of what happened last night is setting in. Why is she walking like that? But it's setting in, like, oh my gosh, that really just happened. And so she's feeling all types of ways. And I think I'm actually going to have her talk to Naomi. I feel like she definitely would go ahead and call Naomi. I messed up. And I was like, what did you do? Did you sleep with him? And she's like, no, I didn't. We kissed though. She said, was it good? And she's like, Naomi, that's not the point. I messed up. Like, how am I supposed to do my job now? And then Naomi's like, wait, when did this happen? Last time I talked to you, you were coming out of the meeting with him. How this all escalate? And she's like, I'll tell you all the details when I get back in a couple of days, but just know I messed up. She's gonna get a little bit of work done, but I'm gonna have her actually change, but get some coffee, considering she is very much hungover right now. She's going to go downstairs and get some coffee to gather herself. Alright guys, that is all for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Tell me what you thought about this episode, about Winnie. How do you think she's going to proceed after that kiss that she shared with Micheal, and also possibly being caught by one of her coworkers. So we have a lot to look forward to in Winnie's story, and I can't wait to continue to explore it. But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Loving myself deeper this year 2023. I tried these tears for myself.